There's an election on and people are talking politics. So what happens when you send two people with opposing views on a lunch date?
I'm well nervous. I'm like, oh my God, this has been so long. Literally.
Will sparks fly?
You see people that are sat there that can go and work and choose not to. They choose to go and sign on. It angers me.
Or will things hot up?
You look gloriously distinguished.
Right, hit me with
Slightly hunky.
You're quite a pretty lady. You know,
Get that on camera.
And will the political?
When people stand at the dispatch box and tell me there's more money in education, I look around and I wonder where it's gone because it's not in my children's school.
Get personal?
What are you going to do?
Snogger.
No, that's yeah. Well.
How would I describe myself politically? Loud. I'm Jack Monroe and I'm a food writer and political commentator. I used to work in the fire service. I was a 999 call handler. I got pregnant with my son and I went on maternity leave, and when I went back to work I couldn't work the shift patterns anymore. I ended up in quite a shoddy personal situation. It's something that never leaves you. Not eating for 3 days in a row so you can feed your child, or sitting opposite him hoping he leaves some of his dinner so you can have some.
Hi. So I've just been texting my friend about fox hunting. He's like, belting, marvellous. I hope you give them both barrels. It's the #1 issue facing Britain apart from inheritance tax. So bad.
My name's Georgia Toffolo, I'm 22. I'm best known for being on a TV programme called Made in Chelsea, and I really love politics.
I'm very lucky I went to a nice school and I live in a lovely part of London, but I'm not, I don't know, I'm not stuck up. But when people do think of me, and also my nickname is Toff, which is like a joke in itself, you know? So people have so many, you know, thoughts about me before they even met me.
I'm a member of the Conservative Party, and I have been for about 8 years now.
I can't comprehend why anyone my age would support a Labour Party.
I'm trying to remember what I'm like on a date. It's like, I'm well nervous. I'm like, oh my God, this has been so long. Literally. Damn.
Hi. Nice to meet you, Georgia.
Jack.
How are
Hi.
you?
Yeah, good. Hi.
Good.
Quite nervous, but hungry.
Yeah, I know, but if we eat, it'll be better.
Yeah.
First things first, right. So, on the political spectrum, where would you put yourself?
I'm left, on the left.
Wait,
about
so,
here.
right.
So
Centre, where are you?
centre, right wing, left wing. I'm about here.
Okay, I'm about here.
Oh, okay, well, so we're equally divergent from the centre. But
Not
just in
horribly
opposite
right
directions.
wing, but definitely
No,
not centre.
No.
Right,
Okay, fine. So we've established where we are.
So,
Thank you. God, that looks amazing. Thank you.
it does, doesn't it? I've got food envy. I want yours. Thank you.
Awkwardly wriggle out of my coat for a sec.
Get rid of those badges.
Yeah, sorry about that.
How did you vote on Brexit?
I spoiled my ballot.
What? Oh my God, really?
Yeah. I was campaigning for Remain, and I truly believe we should remain in the European Union. And I got to a point where the weight of the decision literally felt like it was entirely mine. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to leave it to people who are either more qualified to make the decision or think they're more qualified to do it. And I'll just go with the will of the country at large.
Oh my goodness, but I think we're so lucky to have that vote. You know, like, referendums are like political engagement at their highest. I can't believe you didn't vote.
What about you?
No, I really regret it. I voted to remain. I wish that I'd have
You wish you
voted.
voted to leave?
Yeah, I do, and I'm
Well,
really
I
glad
mean,
that we
enough
left
other
now.
people voted to leave that you've got what you
Thank goodness.
wanted.
I think it's a really positive thing for our country that we are leaving.
Every time I go to eat something, I go and make a point at the same time. I'm like, I need feeding for this.
I can imagine that our views on social welfare are very, very different. I think what the Conservatives have done in the past 7 years with scaling back welfare payments
Okay.
is overwhelmingly positive.
Okay. I know a lot of those people.
Yeah.
And their support has been cut left, right, and centre.
Okay.
I've got friends who are in bed for 23 hours a day,
Yeah.
can't look after themselves, and have to rely on 2 separate care appointments where someone turns up for 10 minutes and then goes again. Imagine being locked in your bedroom for 23 hours
I
a day,
completely
not seeing
understand.
another
but
human being.
This is where I think the Conservatives are doing well.
No,
because
that's a result
hear me
of
out,
Conservative
hear me out,
cuts.
That there's right, so there's only a certain amount of welfare that they can give out, right, as a government. Do you know, it angers me. I watch television programmes and you see people that are sat there that, you know, are clever, you know, can go and work and choose not to. They choose to go and sign on. It angers me.
I don't think there are many. I think with any system, every system's open to abuse. But until I was actually in that situation myself, physically freezing, starving, heating turned off, not eating for 3 days in a row, trying to top myself in my bathroom because I didn't want to carry on, basically.
Yeah. But does it not anger you also that some of the funding that could have gone to you when you were really in need was going to people that were just lazy?
I think less than 1% of benefit payments are fraudulent.
How do we know that?
There's a graph somewhere. I'd have brought it, but I didn't think.
Yeah, but you're not going to own up to being a benefits cheat, are you?
Why watch benefit cheats if you think that's the right term for them carefully, and not people who are avoiding large amounts of taxes, squirreling their money in the Cayman Islands?
I agree, but I think all of it needs to be watched. It's not just like a one-issue thing. So let's talk about taxes. So,
Taxes is big. That's like where do you
I think
stand
a
on
flat
that?
rate of tax is a lot better. I feel as though, let's say you work in the city and you work really hard for what you earn. If you tip over a tax bracket, it's as though the government are punishing you for doing well. For me, that's not, you know.
You don't think we all just need a certain amount to live on, though, and then?
No, but I think in this country, right, if you work hard, you earn. Do you agree?
No.
You don't agree with me. You don't agree that in the UK right now, if you work your arse off, you will earn.
No, I know loads of people that work their arse off, cleaning shops, cleaning trains, driving trains.
Yeah.
I also know people who got their jobs through family connections, who basically swan around drinking in private members clubs day in, day out.
That's such a stereotype.
It's not a stereotype. I know these people, and you go, why should the healthcare assistant wiping arses be on 11 grand a year, and the guy who's basically born into the banking role be earning 10 times as much? I don't think hard work and income are equivalent in this country.
Really, I completely
don't
disagree
think
with you. I disagree. The harder I work, the more I earn. 100%. And if I see, you know, when I look at my accounts, if I think, oh gosh, if I earn more next month, I'm going to have to pay even more to the tax man. It angers me.
Turn jobs down just because you don't want to pay the tax on them.
No,
then.
of course not. But it doesn't make me think, oh God, I want to work harder and earn more.
I think it's that we do all just need a certain amount to live on, and if you earn more, you should.
See, that's where our political ideology is so different. So tell me, what are your views on fox hunting?
I think it's awful. I think if somebody came up with it now as a sport, and went, I know, we're going to get a pack of dogs to chase an animal through the woods, they'd be tried and sent to prison for it. We'd see it as barbaric and awful.
But these foxes need to be culled anyway.
Why do they need to be culled?
Because they're out of control in the countryside. They affect farmers.
Come on, people like fox hunting because it's a chance to put all the gear on and get on your horse and have a good old jolly around the countryside. It's
a great old British tradition.
But there are a lot of great old... But slavery was a great old British tradition.
Oh,
and
really?
I just think that it's disingenuous to suggest that people that partake in fox hunting are doing it to help the farmers out.
But do you agree that in the democracy that we live in, Theresa May's not wrong for putting it to the Commons? You know, it's a free vote. All the MPs can vote on it.
But people can vote on it, and I'd like to think that the vote goes the right way.
Yeah, overturning it.
So I read somewhere this morning that the Lib Dems, do you remember them? They were like... Sorry, that was mean. But they were talking about legalising cannabis.
Yeah, for me, I think smoking cannabis is an addiction. I think there's a reason why it's a drug. It is definitely true that it does cause mental problems if you smoke cannabis in the long term. So for me, I think I'd find it deeply distressing if it was to be made legal here.
I don't know, because I'm cards on the table. I'm a recovering alcoholic.
Okay.
And I've been sober for 46 days now.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, stone cold sober. I was drinking a bottle of whiskey a night and more. But I could go into my local corner shop and buy a bottle of whiskey, and the guy behind the counter would joke with me about how much I drank, but never not serve it to me.
Okay.
I think I would have done myself a lot less damage if I could have just had a spliff in the evening than
Really? Wow.
down an entire bottle of whiskey to go to bed.
But even though it's a Class C drug, you know, drugs are drugs for a reason.
Oh no, I'm not saying I have a spliff in the evening, but I think that I would have done myself a lot less damage. What's your views then on, you said about security, on surveillance, on the fact that apparently the government can just tap into any of our mobiles at any time or anything like that? How do you feel about that?
If it's helping to keep us safe, I think go ahead. I think people should be watched.
I don't think I'd want Theresa May harking through my selfies.
I don't think I'd want Diane Abbott being head of MI5, but you know, that's the way that we think.
Thank you.
We agree on something.
We agree on something. Look at that. Quick, let's find something else we agree on. Theresa May's shoes.
Love a kiss in heels. Love a kiss in heels.
I was mortified the first time I saw the picture of her. Have you seen her Russell and Bromley shoes with the pointy toes? Yeah. And I've got the same shoes. I nearly wore them today actually, but they didn't go with my trousers. Anyway,
I love that you and Theresa May have got the same shoes.
Oh my God, it's worse than that. We've got about 4 or 5 of the same pairs of shoes.
Stop it.
Yeah.
You've been quite quiet about Jezza. Should we talk about him?
Which Jezza? Yeah, Jeremy.
What a shambles. I know it's awful for me to say that, but it's a shame that he is the leader of the Labour Party.
I think he was a very good campaigner, a very, very good backbench MP.
But a non-functioning leader. It's great for me as a Tory. You know, I'm loving it. They're getting away with murder. But, you know, in the Commons, you know, the standing party that's in power must be scrutinised and questioned. Yeah. And I worry that Jeremy Corbyn isn't doing that.
I think my vote for Labour is a vote for good Labour MPs who deserve
and your ideology as well.
Yeah. Have you got any other political heroes, like historically or current?
Margaret Thatcher.
Sorry about the badge.
I know, I was looking at your badge, I thought, bloody rude, don't be rude about Maggie. Get that off, I'm glad you've taken it off. No, I think we were, you know, it's such a shame that I wasn't around then.
See, I take the opposite view of her.
I skipped school on the day of her funeral so that I could go.
Did you go?
Yeah, I went, yeah. Amazing. Amazing lady. Yeah.
I'm transgender, so but I'm what's known as non-binary transgender.
Okay.
So
I don't know enough.
Okay, so I was born a woman and I'm female, but I went through a phase of taking testosterone to basically make myself more masculine.
Okay.
I'm in a really girly phase at the moment, so it's really hard to like try to explain when you're not sort of all dragged up and.
It really is day to day how you feel.
Yeah, it's really a day to day thing. It's been a bit of an odd one when like with people I've dated because they've started dating like a really feminine version of me, and then I like wander downstairs one morning with like a chest binder on and like a suit and a waistcoat and a tie, and they'll be like, "What is that?" Like, "Oh yeah, by the way, sometimes I like to dress up as a man." Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. How are you doing it?
It's all right. I'll get lunch.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's fine. It's like £9. It's fine.
Are you sure? Yeah. That's so sweet. Thank you.
It's all right. You can take me out again.
Next one's on me. I enjoyed that so much.
No, I really liked it.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
And you're not horribly left-wing, and I'm not horribly right-wing.
No, I think we're here and here, aren't we?
Yeah,
Exactly. We're established.
Do you think, right, so do you agree?
But where are we at now? Have I moved you, like, along a bit?
I reckon, no. I'm not budging, I'm still here.
I've shuffled a bit more to the centre,
really?
I reckon. Yeah.
And actually, I must say, I hate to admit it, maybe I have a little bit, because you said a few things that I thought, wow, I've never thought about that.
So if we go out again, we might just end up somewhere in the middle.
Okay, home and see my friends will be like, you've changed.
Yeah, they'll be like, what's happened to you? I'll be like, oh, I met this girl.
Yeah. You're bloody badgered.
I feel like taking it off now. I feel like I'm a personal hero of yours.
Amazing.
Cool. You could just put your arms over each other.
I had such a nice time.
Yeah, I had a
Weirdly.
lovely time. I didn't know what to expect, so I was like super, super nervous. And yeah, I had a really nice time.
I've got a new left wing friend.
Little pet lefty.
Who built it? You said a few things that kind of hit home a bit, because I hadn't given some of the things that you brought up much thought. So it's quite thought-provoking for me.
Yeah.
Because I think often you can be quite ignorant with politically, I think, and I think I'm very guilty of that. So yeah.
I've got friends who are quite conservative, but they tend to be a lot older. I mean, they're like my nan and her friends, you know, so they're like in their 70s and 80s. So it was quite nice for me to meet a young person with real conservative views.
When I think about, I don't know, kind of benefits, I think, well, bear in mind what you said. You know, it's just really stuck in my head. Do you reckon you're going to come out hunting if the ban's overturned?
I'm not sure I'm ready to go out on horseback.
Have you ever changed your mind?
If I change my mind, I'll give you a bell and then go write some awful piece for The Guardian about how terrible it was or something.
So would. I like that though. I like that about you.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm on a bloody march. Never find me on one of those.
See, I was going to say I would take you to volunteer at a food bank, but now you said a bloody march, I'm going to paint you a placard and we can go out rioting.
Me. No, on like a picket line with like banners. It's not me. Sorry. That's fine.
Fun, though.
You don't want to go hunting.
It's always a good day. No, but I might go hunting. I might swap you.
Funny.
Will you see each other again? Do you think? Would you go for lunch again?
I really hope we do.
Yeah,
I think it would be really nice. It's out of a beautiful friendship.
Oh, it is. Well, we'll have like a made in Chelsea lefty spin-off or something.
It's really niche, but
yeah, it's a bit niche. I think it would work. I think it'd be okay.